So today's excerpt is from chapter 18 and Gidget Speaks. So I'm almost halfway through my book. I'm fine just the way I am. And it's interesting that this is actually almost at the halfway point now that I think about it. And this is when I have reached a very dark place, though it would get a little bit darker as I continue. But this is a very dark place where I actually one day just feel like this heavy cloud is over my head, and I just cannot seem to cope. I just don't know what to do, and I'm in complete tears when I realize I need to reach out to my animal communicator who I have worked with in the past with my other animals, and her name is Dawn. So I'm going to pick up on that part because I feel this is just such a pivotal part of Gidget's healing, my healing, and helping us to move forward. And so I had reached out to Dawn for a reading, and I'm going to start with the part where Dawn and I connect via Zoom, and she starts to share with me what Gidget had shared with her just that few moments before we connected. So Dawn began conveying to me what she'd received from Gidget. She began with, "I'm fine, just the way I am." Gidget went on to say, "I see things sideways, and this is what I'm here to teach you to do, to help you to see subtle perspectives you may not consider. You are good at hearing me, but not the fullness of what I'm trying to convey. My body may not be quick, but I am in my wisdom." This resonated on many levels as I understood Gidget to be wise and had also noticed signs of her slowing down with age. Others don't always see my full wisdom, but my higher self is coming through. My invitation to you is to go deep, to see aspects you have not considered, along with fine details in order to gain a deeper perspective. I'm fun, loving, a princess, and I know my divine self. I chuckled out loud to hear Gidget referring to herself in that way because it was so true. What I want for you is to not get caught up in the amazement of something, as it prevents you from seeing a sideways view, as I'm trying to help you see. You hear things as the intent, but not always the subtext. I can be a cuddle buddy. I give you that look to help you understand, and that there is something deeper here. I really want for you to understand inner focus and details, which is my final teaching to you. See this as deep and clear before sharing. I really love you. It's okay to be gentle and kind, but deep and true too. That last line, I can't tell you how many times that played through my mind of, it's okay to be gentle and kind, but deep and true too. Lastly, Dawn shared it was important for me to know that Gidget and I were meant to be together for both our needs and desires. I wasn't quite sure what to make of the reading, which was a bit frustrating. A part of me thought perhaps Gidget was getting ready to move on because of her reference to her final teaching for me. Yet this wasn't what I sensed from the reading overall. I then asked some questions of Dawn, hoping our conversation could bring more clarity. "I'm not sure what Gidget means about seeing things sideways," I said. "How do I do that?" "Try not to make it so mental. It doesn't have to be a burden. Imagine sideways as a trap door that you slide down, like a fun house. It's more relaxing than thinking. Be cool. Don't get excited, like the Fonz from Happy Days. He's cool. He didn't need to try to be cool. He just was." I love that. I love that example of it that Dawn had shared. I took in what Dawn was saying as she continued. Another way to do sideways is to have more fun with Gidget. Not always planned, but in the moment. So I remember sharing with her, I'm not going to read this full excerpt here, but this full part. I had just the day before gone to Lake Michigan and sat there in the car with Gidget and just had a great bonding experience with her, and just being with her was so beautiful and magical. And that was validation for me to do that, more often with what Dawn had said. And then I just want to go on to say, because this is such an important part too, I'm going to share this, that it felt good to be in this space of allowing instead of forcing which is something I continually needed to practice. And think about that in your own life, right? How often do we try and force something to happen instead of just being in the now and allowing it to unfold? Dawn said, perhaps the title, we had kind of, I think we had talked a little bit about, somehow we had talked about perhaps I would eventually be sharing this experience that I went through. That's right. And then Dawn said, perhaps the title of a book would be that what Gidget started out with today, I'm fine just the way I am. And, at the time, it hit somewhere in my heart, but I never did realize the full extent of it. And that is exactly what the name of my book ended up to be. It was just perfect. It was absolutely perfect. So that was a pivotal moment, another pivotal shift in my self-healing journey. So the next chapter I'm going to read for you, is chapter 19, Kinship Connection. And I will share that tomorrow. So I hope you'll come back. See you then.